Now to this story, a controversial questionnaire has parents in New Jersey talking. It's asking new parents about their baby's sexual orientation and gender identity. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas, she looked into this issue. She's live for us here in the studio. And Taronda, this has now gotten some attention of a state lawmaker. What are you learning?
Absolutely great. Today, that lawmaker introduced legislation to change a law that requires the questionnaire, saying parents should not be asked about the sexual orientation of a newborn baby. Parents of newborns are used to filling out a lot of forms with a lot of questions about their babies. But one New Jersey mom-to-be got questions she never expected.
Is your baby straight, gay, bisexual, genderqueer?
New Jersey State Senator Holly Schepisi found out about it when the mom posted this picture on social media.
And it's so absurd and so ridiculous.
Well, the mom received the questionnaire from Vineland Hospital and the Inspira Health Network. But hospitals across the state of New Jersey have sent out the same form asking about the gender identity and sexual orientation of babies. It's the result of a 2022 New Jersey state law that requires hospitals to collect more demographic data about patients in order to better serve them. Now the Republican senator has proposed legislation to change it.
Preclude taking of any of this information for minor patients. If a parent wants to volunteer this information, that the parent always has that opportunity.
Inspira tells Action News that while state law requires them and every other hospital in New Jersey to ask patients about their race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, and gender identity, patients can also decline to provide that information. In a statement, the company now says Inspira Health will request this information from adults. This update in protocol remains compliant with the law. Responding to calls from Action News, the New Jersey Department of Health says data like sexual orientation should be collected in a, quote, culturally competent manner, including patient populations for which certain data may not be appropriate, as in the case for newborns. Still, Senator Schepisi is pushing forward with her legislation, aiming to take away a question she says just doesn't make sense for a baby.
It's one of the most ludicrous things that I've heard of yet.
A questionnaire from Inspira Health out of New Jersey, which contains the following questions for parents of newborns. What sex was your baby assigned at birth? What gender identity do you assign your baby? And finally, do you describe your baby as lesbian, gay, straight, or bisexual? We should point out, though, that patients do have the option not to provide an answer.
But the form was obtained by Republican New Jersey State Senator, that is Holly Schepisi, joining us, who is fighting to have this practice rescinded in the Garden State. You know, and thank you for coming on. We do appreciate that, State Senator. So we see this questionnaire, and you may be going, is this real life?
In fact, when I saw it, I thought maybe it was something made up to be provocative. So I had my staff reach out directly to the health network to confirm that it was indeed real, because you looked at it and you go, there's no way. Like, it's so stupid. It has absolutely no efficacy in the medical world. And how are they providing this to parents of newborn patients?
I mean, this is a statement when it's absolutely absurd. I mean, sexualizing a newborn child, asking how they identify. But this is a statement from the New Jersey Department of Health spokesperson saying that the department stresses any collection of sexual orientation, gender identity data. It should be done in a clinically appropriate and culturally competent manner, including patient populations for which certain data may not be appropriate, as in the case for newborns. Now, then they recommended that hospitals develop internal policies and procedures based on clinical advice to assist their employees in collecting such data. Are they trying to walk back now what they're having mothers fill out for their newborn babies? I mean, what does this statement tell you about their reaction?
I think once again, and it's kind of like, as Van Jones said, Democrats have realized that they've gone too far. The entire legislature, as well as the governor, is up this year in New Jersey. And I think you're starting to see, once the public expresses outrage, a walking back of some of the more insane policies that have been implemented under this administration and under Democratic control in the state. Had this not come to light, had the publicity around it not occurred, hospital networks were under the impression, based upon direct communications with Department of Health, that they were mandated under this law to provide it to all populations regardless of age. I have new legislation that's being introduced on Monday that is going to specify that minors are not part and parcel of collection of this sort of data.
And it's going to be interesting to see with that legislation who's for it and who's against it, right? And just getting a roll call on that will be fascinating for the future of those political careers. Just based on this questionnaire, I have a 7-month-old, and if they handed me that questionnaire, I would have thrown that in the trash. It's right with her first dirty diaper that I changed immediately. It is unbelievable. How did you first find out about this questionnaire that was given out at New Jersey hospitals?
As with a lot of things, it was through social media. I was lying in bed. I was scrolling through. I, too, am a mom. I have a 13-year-old. I have a 21-year-old. And a mom had put up, who's 9 months pregnant, that she had gone in for her check and was given a packet of forms and had gone through it and saw this for what she's supposed to provide pre-birth. And that's kind of the entire genesis of it.